Hi, you are welcome to Busy Brain Tutorial channel. Please always ensure you subscribe to my channel for more updates and video. Today class we want to examine EAP 201, Introduction to Educational Management. That is what we want to examine. And to start with, what is management? We want to understand the concept of management. Management means different things to different people, depending on the angle at which you are looking at the concept of management. What management means to Mr. A may be different to Mr. B. Actually speaking and summarily speaking, management is the art of getting things done through other people. The art of doing things through people. At the same time, management can also mean the utilization of both human and material resources to achieve a specific goal. That is the meaning of management. The father of management is Henry Fayot. Now let's move to the functions of management. According to Henry Fayot, who is the father of modern management, we have planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling, according to Henry Fayot. But when you're talking about function of management, according to Orwick say we have POSCOP, planning, organizing, staffing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. So, according to Henry Fayot, who is referred to as the father of management, he refers to as these five as the functions of management. Quickly, without wasting much time, the levels of management. There are three levels in management: the top, the middle, and the lower. The top level, the middle level, and the lower level. In every setup, there is a superior and there is a subordinate. These are the hierarchy to show how information flow from the top to the down. So quickly, we move to the aims of management. What are the aims of management? To create surplus. Managing is concerned with productivity. Management is applied to any kind of organization to carry out the managerial functions of planning. All these are the functions, the aims, objectives of management. According to Henry Fayot, he propagated the 14 principles of management. According to Henry Fayot, these are the 14 principles of management: division of labor, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, common interest, remuneration, centralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability, initiative, esprit de corps. All these are the 14 principles of a management. We move to the attributes of a leader. What are the attributes or characteristics that is needed by a leader? Every leader and every manager must possess these attributes: intelligence, administrative skill, endurance, human relation skills, and decisiveness. Every manager must be able to possess each of these. You must be intelligent to the field you have. You must have administrative skill as a leader. You must be endurable. You must be patient as a leader. You must have human relation skill. There must be interrelationship. You must relate with people in a good and beautiful manner. So we go to planning. Planning occupies the first position in management function. Planning is very important. Planning simply means deciding in advance what to do, how to do, and for who to do. Planning is very important in management. That is why it occupies the first position in management. Now, what is educational planning? Educational planning simply means planning for educational system. When you are planning for educational system, it gives us what we call educational planning. According to my summary here, it is the process of identifying educational needs, the direction which education should take, and how to translate the decision into action. When you are deciding, you are planning about education. That is what gives us educational planning. Elements of educational goals. These are the elements here. Very very clear summary about element. I will talk briefly on the approaches of educational planning. Approaches of educational planning. There are three approaches to educational planning. We have the manpower, the social demand, and the rate of return. The rate of return approach is also known as cost benefit approach. So another name for rate of return is cost benefit approach. Each of these approach, they have a center focus. When we talk of manpower requirement, manpower is talking about the need to train workers, the need to train personnel for them to be more productive. Training of workers for them to be able to fit in the work they are doing. Let's look at the write-up. The term manpower denotes the attempt to develop a nation's human resources to meet the demand of our economy, which means workers needed to be trained for them to meet the demand of the economy. It is purposely in aspect of skill, manpower in the labor. We have social demand approach, which is based on the view that education is consumption and it is a social infrastructure for development purposes. The last approach, the cost benefit, which is also known as the rate of return. This is based on the assumption that education is expenditure on education. Any form of expenses on education is a form of investment. So whatever you spend on education is an investment which can only be justified by improved productivity. So that is what the three approaches are simply talking about. Lastly, we talk about management theory. This is a very important aspect that is very important in management. When we talk about theory, theory is talking about the method at which people approach to situations in their place of work. Theory is the same thing as a school of thought. Theory is the same thing as approaches. How people approach to work with different style of working. We have scientific management theory. What is scientific talking about? He said this arose partly from the need to increase productivity. Scientific is talking about the use of man, the use of machinery instead of man. The essence of scientific approaches is talking about how productivity can be increased, how productivity can be produced in a larger capacity. Instead of using man, why not use machine? The use of technologies to carry out productivity. That is scientific is talking about. He said, look at in this beginning of the 20th century, especially in the United States, there was a surge in the setting up a factory, while at the same time, skilled labor was in short supply. It therefore became necessary to raise the efficiency of workers in order to expand productivity. The proponent of this theory is Frederick Wilson Taylor. We have classical organization theory. This grew out of the need to form guidelines for managing such complex organizational factors. The proponents of the classical movement were Henry Fayot and Max Weber. Max Weber were the one that brought about this classical organizational theory on how work can be done. According to Max Weber and Henry Fayot, this is their belief about this theory. Henry Fayot is the father of modern management. Fayot developed this scientific management theory by dividing business operation into 6 activities. So, Henry Fayot divided science of management, business operation into 6 activities. And these are the activities: technical, commercial, financial, security, accounting, and managerial. These are the 6 business operations, according to Henry Fayot. Look at Max Weber. Max Weber is the father of bureaucracy or bureaucratic management. He viewed bureaucracy as highly structured, formalized, and also an impersonal organization. He carried out 6 major principles of bureaucracy, which are these. According to him, these are the 6 principles of bureaucracy. So, my fellow viewers, ensure you subscribe to my channel. I promise to do better. I am Busy Brain. Just press the subscribe button and subscribe. Thank you.